Good news, everybody. The iPhone 7 may not completely bomb and suck. There's a new rumor that the headphone jack will not be getting removed. In this video, I want to share some iPhone 7 rumors and new details and information surrounding it in the latest update. So I know there's been so much negative press around the iPhone 7. I thought I'd share something actually good for a change. So there's been a new supply chain leak, and that includes a new assembly for the Lightning connector. Now, in this assembly, there are some new differences. There are some little areas that they stand out from the last iPhone, and basically, what is that over there? Hey, it's a headphone jack. So there could be three things that this could be. For one, an iPhone 7 clone. This isn't the very first time we've seen something like this. It could be for a clone iPhone, some sort of part that they place inside. It's unlikely it could be for a clone, but I'm just saying it's one of the options. Two, it could be just for the standard iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 Pro could still be receiving dual stereo speakers and no headphone jack. Three, this could actually be the iPhone 7 new logic board assembly, including a headphone jack. And four, it could be completely fake. My bet is that this is the real deal. There's just been so much negative talk about the iPhone 7, and I could totally see where it's coming from. Apple sales are declining, and what does Apple do? They make their customers even more unhappy by removing a feature that's been around for nearly 100 years. Just kidding, not that long, but a headphone jack is important. Everybody needs one, and it is the future to get rid of them. I think Apple, instead of axing it right away, will wait until the next generation iPhone. Instead, regardless whether or not it'll come with a headphone jack or not, Apple will ship Lightning-based headphones with the next generation iPhone. That way, they can acclimate their iPhone users and all the third-party accessory makers, so when the next iPhone comes out, they'll remove it completely and everybody will already be used to it. In any case, this is a nice glimmer of hope that the next iPhone won't completely suck. And I also did want to mention that this is coming from a Weibo account, and it's not from an actual analyst. It was reposted by Nowhere Else, a French blogging site for leaks, but really, aside from that, this doesn't really have any depth or weight to it. So take this with a huge grain of salt. We might be getting a headphone jack, but when every analyst says that we won't be getting one, I would doubt this a little bit. However, just because of all the backlash Apple's been receiving, they could have changed their mind. And more details have surfaced regarding those battery pictures that leaked earlier. So another supply chain leaker has given us more information about those batteries and their milliamp rating, and it is good news. Certainly we could use more good news because I didn't think the iPhone 7 launch could get any worse. But what he's saying is that the batteries will be rated at 1735 milliamps for the standard iPhone 7, and for the larger iPhone 7 Plus or Pro model, it would be 2810 milliamps. Now, comparing that to the iPhone 6s currently, it's not that big of an increase whatsoever. Going from 1715 to 1735 will, in the standard 6s, you wouldn't notice it whatsoever. And however, pair this with more efficient internals, slightly more efficient processor, less power demanding GPU. Basically, you've got a great combo for a battery sipping device. And this is still not at the scale of the iPhone 6. That had an even higher milliamp battery at 1810 milliamps and the larger model at 2915. So I think it'll even surpass the battery life of the 6 thanks to much more efficient internals. Now, if you guys remember the iPhone 6, going from the 5S to the 6 was a huge upgrade. I'm very worried that going from a 6S to a 7 will not be worth it. There will be no justification for it. But Tim Cook eased our minds with that question on his recent interview with Jim Cramer on the Mad Money TV show. Now, Jim Cramer asked him a question: are Apple's best days behind it? All the things they've invented, can they top that? And Tim Cook said he certainly doesn't think that the best days are behind Apple. And he went on to say, we've got great innovation in the pipeline, new iPhones that will incentivize you and other people that have iPhones today to upgrade to new iPhones. We're going to give you things you can't live without that you just don't know you need today. That has always been the objective of Apple, to do things that really enrich people's lives, that you look back on and wonder, how did I live without this? Now, what that means for an iPhone, it's incredibly vague. We really don't know, but hopefully there can be some innovation, something great coming, and removing a headphone jack just isn't the innovation I want. And new Apple Watch bands, that's really not innovation that I want Apple to be streaming towards. Something new, something better. And of course he's going to say that he's got a lot of exciting things coming. I mean, what is a CEO going to say? Oh, the next iPhone is going to be mediocre. It'll be worth upgrading to. No, he's going to try and fire it up as much as he can. So, it doesn't really mean much, but hopefully there's some truth to that and the new iPhone will innovate. And I also did want to mention that the earlier leak for the iPhone 7 Pro, there is credibility behind it. So I did a little digging around in the Mac fan history. They've leaked the iPad Pro before. They were a little off on the details. They said it would be called the iPad Air Plus, and they didn't show the smart connector in the leaked schematics, but everything else was incredibly accurate. The iPhone 6 leak basically said that the screen on the Plus model would be 5.7 inches, and it wasn't, and they didn't actually detail the antenna bands on the back of the phone correctly. However, other than that, these guys are incredibly accurate. So I say the iPhone 7 Pro leaked schematic will be incredibly accurate. Again, with the headphones, I'm not very sure what's going on there right now, but we will see. The closer we get, the more accurate this will be. And there's one more thing I wanted to share with you, and that's the iPhone 7 Pro camera simulator app. So we know that the iPhone 7 Pro is going to have a dual lens camera. This app basically is the exact patent that Apple detailed earlier that would allow simultaneous recording from both lenses on the iPhone. And basically this is a demo of that. So while you're recording, the whole picture is up here, and you can have, basically zooming in full resolution with optical zoom thanks to that new telephoto lens right here. So this is just, this isn't the real deal. Obviously, this is cropped from digitally, but you're going to be able to record the whole scene, and then you're going to be able to select individual areas that you want to zoom in on. So recording 2 streams of video using the very same video, but different sensors on the camera. I think it's actually really cool. Now, this is called, I believe, Camera 7. So you guys can go ahead and download that to check it out yourself. But anyways, that is the latest on the iPhone 7. Some good news regarding the battery. Hopefully there's some truth to this, and the headphone jack won't be going just yet. I personally have switched over to Bluetooth headphones, but I do see the significance of keeping this around for longer. Not everybody's going to want to make that jump right away. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.